All right, guys, third attempt at this video. I have kids coming in. My wife's still in San Diego. It's just me. So hopefully this works. I'll go through it quick. Trump said some negative things about China companies. JD is a China company. So who knows what's going to happen on Monday. But they have an earnings report. I'm looking to play this as a day of earnings trade. You can see the historical data here. These have all worked. Credit call spread. And I'm also going to look to day trade it. Here are the stats for the day trading. You got to put in the actual open here on column P if you have my Excel program. And this is open to high and open to low. So if, let's say, they have good earnings, they pop up to, I don't know, 65, then 2.5% of that would be close to 67. And so that's where I would be looking to sell the top side of an iron condor. And then on the low side for the iron condor, I would look for a pull of about 4%. Data right here. Now CRMT has great run-in data. You can see one day before 83%, opening gap 67%, earnings move 92%, drift 75%. So if you guys don't understand what drift is, let me know. But drift is from open right here, opening gap, to close, right? So it drifts up. That means all this is positive. So what I'd be looking for on this one, the safest play, is to let it come down. You can see here's the data. Open percent to low is about 4%. So if it gets to 3%, I'm going to start going long to try to capture this drift. Now, this is barring any kind of crazy bad earnings report. Otherwise, the data doesn't matter. BABA, again, China company. Trump said he's going to put pressure on. Alibaba was actually mentioned in the question that was asked to him. So who knows what's going to happen. But if we do get a gap down on Monday, I would appreciate it, actually, because there's quite a few good plays here. If you look 3 days before, which is this right here, you get a 92% win rate on selling 25 delta put. And 2 days before, you get 25 delta call or vertical call spread of 25 by 15 delta, 90% win rate. 1 day before, both VPS and VCS work great. So long and short of it is, you can see it runs in, pops up on the opening gap, but you see this drift, it turns negative. This gives you these are like ideal for IV crushes because you can get both. You can get the IV crush on the call side and on the put side. So you sell the put, right? And it pops. If it does its opening gap, you close that put out real quick because you're already in the money. And you just let the stock fade for the rest of the day, and then you close out the vertical call. Now, the other play is, look, afterwards, it's pretty decent. So you could sell another vertical put spread after you've let it fade, right? So let it come in, open to low here, 2.4%. Let it come in a couple percentage points before you sell that vertical spread. There's 3 or 4 plays there. Hope that all made sense. CRM, good stats beforehand. August 25th is the earnings after market close. So Wednesday the 19th is 1 week before. You can see right here, 67% week before, 3 days, 67, 50, 67. So you can see it's a nice run in earnings. Here's some things that have worked in the past. 1 week before, just selling the 25 delta put, or you can do the credit put spread, 25 by 15, all 90% win top, 90% win rates. 1 day works as well, negative 1 day. So the day before, see all these 100% win rates. Same thing, selling the 25 delta puts, or just do a vertical put spread for the day before. And then you can capture some IV crush. So Microsoft is the same play as an earnings play, but this is an ex-dividend play. And what you're looking to do is to play this stats. You can play this 75% for the 2 days before and get out, but I'm actually going to buy shares, sell calls against them to try to capture this 51% premium. This is what I did that training on dividend stripping. This is what dividend stripping is. So I'm going to buy the shares. I'm going to sell a call against it. I'm going to collect this in a dividend. And if my shares get taken from me, I'm going to profit this plus a premium plus the difference of my strike. If they don't get taken away from me, I'm up 51 cents plus the premium on my shares of Microsoft, and I don't mind holding it until we get back to where I am profitable in Microsoft. Now, Square for these are TPS plays. Square for TPS play, For the longer haul to get up here, I believe it's going to take some more consolidation down here. You can see how well symmetry worked. Look, bam, boom, bottomed out right here, bounced right off of it. Pretty amazing, right? One of Nate's strategies, lessons, watch it, learn it, practice it, and then apply it. So I'm looking, honestly, just for a 150 area pop. If I can get this back to 150, I'd be happy. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on Square. And Adobe, I've been playing this chart a lot, and you can see these green lines are like my buys. So big buy here. This was a combination of this trend line and the volume profile. I'll probably start averaging in here, but I may take a third. No, I'd probably do a fourth, and then a half here. So I'd double up as it came down. That's how I'm playing Adobe. Docu, I forgot to tell you, the earnings, 9:15, it has a good run. So starting at the beginning of the month, I'm expecting this to have a run into the earnings. Docu has a 2-hour TPS setup, and its earnings data is pretty good. You can see 78% 2 weeks beforehand. That is the 19th, right? So that's Wednesday. The implied move on this is 13.5%. Using the price from Friday, this gives you the range. This is how I play these guys. You can go closer in the money and get 50-50 on spreads, but for me, I'll be looking to sell puts around the bottom of that range, about the 172, 170, 175 area, getting $4 or $5 for it. That's going to put my cost basis around 165, 170. I don't mind taking Docu in that area and holding for a year or two. So that's how I play these. I'll also play the run up through VPS or calls, but I'll be out before. The only time I ever hold through earnings is if I am the seller of options, because I do not want to mess with IV crush. I want to be the one crushing the IV. Vive, I'm a long-term holder in this. They make software that helps biotech and farm companies organize and store data related to clinical trials. What have we been doing since COVID? That's it. We've been pumping money into that system, right? So they have earnings coming up 8/27, and the stats are quite amazing, right? 5 days is Friday, 10 days was last Friday, but we pulled last Friday. Look, see how we pulled? So it's giving us a better entry here. I really like this play. It's a combo ER TPS play, but the TPS is $1.N. That's not, so can you really count it as a TPS play? Yeah. So the implied move is 11.1%, so I'll be selling puts and I'll be getting shares of this. So I'm looking for a pull to get some shares to the volume profile line and sell puts against it. Spotify is my least favorite, but I'm putting it on here because I want to show you this 8 and 21. I like the 8 to get above the 21 and then come back and touch it as a retest. That's when I like getting in. So if this 8 can cross it, so I have an alert set on my PC2000. As soon as this 8 crosses up to 21, it's going to alert me. I'm going to put it on my watch list, and I'm going to keep checking on it to see if it comes back and retests it, and that's my buy point. INTC, I think INTC is very undervalued right now. I think people are freaking out a little bit too much that my favorite stock, AMD, is destroying them technologically. INTC has a lot of good things going for it, and they have a lot of money. I think AMD is finally at half the market cap until this here, and people are just screaming that AMD is worth that because we are doing a lot of forward projecting. So long and short of it, I think there's value. So I'm looking for this ascending triangle to hopefully break up and start to get into this area and then possibly close this gap. Keep in mind this is a bear flag. The 195 is squeezing. So bear flag, not good. Ascending triangle, good for the long side. That's how I'm playing it. That's how I'm looking to do it. Shop 78-minute. You should understand what I mean by good risk reward now. That means if you buy it around 982, 980, and you have to stop out at 976, you're only risking $4 for a $20 move. That's the kind of risk reward that I like. So that's shop now. If you don't know how I play now by now, then you haven't been watching, because this is on my watch list almost every week or every other week. And you can see how it's just been squeezing. When it gets to the 8, I sell puts. When it gets to the 21, I'll buy longer dated calls or stocks. I usually buy stock. I'm a stock guy. I'm not as good as Nate with options, but when it gets to the lower Bollinger Band area, like in here and in here and in here, I always buy shorter dated calls because I know I'm going to know the answer to whether this is going to bounce or not very quickly. So the risk is there for me, the risk reward. So W has a pretty nice 130-minute chart, and what I'm looking for is I want this to actually pull to the 21 area, the 300 area, to set up a pretty nice. I'm drawing out. Remember how I tell you to draw out? This is where I want it to touch. I want it to touch in this area to set up this flag. Does that? I'm a buyer around the 20 for that. Now MCRB, I don't know if I've ever done a strong offering play with you guys. Long and short of it is a strong offering play means institutions are wanting it, so they get a great deal, or the company gets a great deal. So the stock was literally $4, $5. Guess what they priced their offering at after this phase 3 good news? $21.50. I would say that's a pretty good pricing. And they priced it on, I believe it was after the 12th they put that information out. Anyway, it gapped up, right? And so people are like, hey, this is a strong offering. So that's kind of how I play them. What I've done, however, this up so you can see it. This is my plan. So you can see the volume profile levels that I've got drawn, and the purple lines are the anchored VWAPs. This is the anchored VWAP from the good news phase 3 trial. Boom. From the pricing of the offering is the other one. I would love for this to come down, take some profit taking, and I'll start buying right here about this volume profile level around $24, $25 or $24, $24.50, all the way down to here to this anchor. Don't come down there and we break above this, I'll be looking to buy the breakout retest. So if it breaks above, retest that anchor VWAP, I buy it off that, risking that as my stop. So that's MCRB. Ears I actually got put into, I had a good till cancel order. I think it was 104. It was only a couple thousand, like 2,500 shares. So I can add another 7,500 shares to it. I don't want to put in more than 10,000 shares into this stock. Ears is a horrible company, but they do like to pump their stock, as you can see. Pop, 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 reverse split here, pop, 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 reverse split here. Now we're just waiting. It's trading near cash, I believe, last time I checked, and it has a catalyst coming up. So good chance. Now, this is a stock that it's an IPO chart play. Everybody loved this chart. Loved this stock when it came out. I want to show you the 2 hour what I'm looking to play. We got a higher low put in here, and so we're starting to maybe get a reversal signal. We get over Friday's high of basically 64, then we should test this descending trend line. We can break that. We're going to test this volume profile line, and then hopefully the anchored VWAP, and we'll probably get a reject there, back down, and possibly a pop through. My goal is here. I'll sell in this general region, capture $7 to $10. That's what I'm looking for. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it helps you understand. Watch list. And by the way, for those of you that watch to the end, that means you're interested in what I'm doing. I'm actually going to start holding weekly sessions on Saturdays, putting my watch list. I'll put it together. I'll work as a team. On charts, you can ask me what charts you want to look at, and we can put them on there together. So I'm going to ask Keith if we can do it in Raging Bull. If not, I'll just in Zoom. But I'll post that information on Twitter to start doing it.